Hi, folks, and welcome to another edition of The Legacy. Each week, we try to take you from the old school to the new with one thing in mind, and that is to win. And this week, we are privileged to have my mentor join us today, Mac the Sack McGee. Anthony, how are you, man?
What's up, Doc? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, we still fooling them. You know, the key is that...
How long can we do this, man? We've been playing this for a long time.
I want to start with this, especially we got a younger audience for you and I.
Mm-hmm.
When a man is nicknamed Mac the Sack, and an element where it's one of the hardest things I think of in all of sports to accomplish, and that is to beat a grown man who's usually larger than you are. He gets help from backs, tight ends, and everything, but yet you based your reputation, your career, off being able to get that done in a way that very few have done. How'd that happen?
Mac, I'm calling you Mac now. No. Mac the Sack came up and the person gave me that name, and his name is Sam Bam Cunningham.
Oh,
Trojan. What happened was up in New England, they started to utilize me because we had a three-man line. And they utilized me because I was kind of smallish for a three-man defensive line man. They needed a guy weighed about 290 and about my height, but I just didn't weigh enough, but I had speed. So what I did was really try to work on my game, and they made me a pass rusher. One weekend, I'll tell you how it started. A young lady that used to write for the USA Today was writing a report, and she was writing back on designated things. And she said, well, you're a star on this team, talking about New England. She said, well, what do you think you bring to the team, or who are you? I had watched Reggie Jackson the day before. He had 3 home runs. And they said, this is a new thing. He is a designated hitter. So right off the way, I just cripped. I'm a designated pass rusher. It's been there ever since. But one thing about it, when I look at these guys, I was just one of many. Back in that era, we could name pass rusher after pass rusher. I learned by looking at Claude Humphrey. I learned by looking at Deacon Jones. I learned by looking at all these guys, the Dancing Bear, all of them that was in front of me. And what I did was try to take their game and develop one of my own. And that's what I don't see today, Doc. And that's what enabled me. But you know what? The bottom line is, I got an opportunity to do it because I was blessed.
I think about pass rush. The Washington football team, they won the East. They established themselves in a way that we had grown accustomed to having every year, but we found out it don't last forever. This young group got after people, and all I could think about was Charles, Dexter, Butts, Perry Brooks, one of the best inside pass rushers I've ever seen, World Grant, and yourself. That's the best group of defensive linemen that I think we've had in the organization's history. And I know someone may rival that. What do you say?
I think they were too, because all of them had unique talent. You look at Dave Butts at that time, and we had him on the show, a couple of weeks ago. At that time, he was our only 300-pounder. So, he demanded respect in that middle. And not only that, Doc, if you remember in 1984, Dave led us in sacks with 11 sacks. You never hear from that from a defensive tackle.
No, you don't.
In 1983, I would say rather.
Yeah.
Dexter had 10 and a half in that year. Not sure I had 10. I had to drop that dime in there. But then you had Dexter Mandy. Here's a young man weighed 260 pounds, ran a 4.5 40, which all of you fans know about. But at the same time, he bench pressed 500 pounds. Then you got Charles Mann, 6'6", long arms, come in, only weighed 248 when he come in, build himself up. He's so agile, he can play the run and the pass excellent. Then you got Darrell Grant with the great motor that can run every way, every play. Then you got Perry Brooks, who was one of the best inside pass rushers, had that quick inside to the center move, swim up the middle. So you had a group of guys, and the one thing that we did, we had game plans within the game plan. And you have to have that as a defensive lineman, and that's the only thing. I look at these guys they got natural talent. When Chase finally learned what he want to do, he'll be unstoppable. He's that way now. But you got to have a game plan. And we had a play that you would run on your first time. And I told Charles and I told Dexter this. I said, look, set them up the first time. If you're a speed rusher, run by them. Don't matter what the play is, run by them. they're going to think about that the whole day. Then the next time you have a big play, you run by them, but you go inside. And now that messes them up a little more, and then you counter that move, but you save your best move for that last time. And usually it's a combination that starts like the other three. You'll be successful every time. All of my sacks pretty much came in the fourth quarter.
What's your take on what Ron Rivera has established, Jack Del Rio on that defense, and what you see for your football IQ tells you? Because for the first time in a long, long while, I really see us doing that.
And you know why you see that, Doc? You see the same things that Coach Gibbs was doing back in the day when we were there. The year before I came in here, I think you guys were like 8-8 or something, but you had lost 5 games in a row.
In the beginning, yeah.
But it's right. And
we
the team
finished strong.
Right. And the team that you guys started to develop on was a certain New England team that I played on, and we came down here. They were calling you guys the Deadskins at that time, but that was
right.
No true. Y'all won with us, and you came and you won, I think, 8 of the next however many games, and you guys ended up going 8-8. And so, you look at that. So I look at that right now. And what did he do? He got the people there that he knew that was going to deliver. It didn't matter what the people say. He had people there that whatever your job was, you are going to get it done. You're going to have to tend to detail, but you have to be part of the team. It's not about no one individual. You guys grew that. And when I came here, I could see it. I remember the day that they traded me here. Here I am, a veteran in my 12th year, and I'm saying, woo, they just playing a game. On my 11th year, they playing a game with me. But when I saw the makeup of those people, I remember some of the battles. I'll never forget the last battle I had with you when I was at New England. They had me on the punt team because I was kind of fast. So I could get over there to try to make the guy punt fast, and the little guy they had in front of me, I was killing him. And they put you over there, and I remember that baby face. And the thing about it, I'm gonna be in your face every time you was in my face too, and I remember that. But as you say, and you look back to it, what Rivera is doing right now is doing the same thing that Coach Gibbs did. He's building that team, and the biggest part that it started with me was the game that he had a chance to tie or win. He took the opportunity to win. They did not win, but he set the bar. We're not.
I'm with you. I was for that.
It's not just going to be a tie. We're going to win. And that's why people can say, oh, they did not deserve to be in the playoffs. They were there, and they represented. They showed us we'll be back. And the other thing that it did, Doctor, a lot of people not talking about, it took these young guys and gave them a formula that this is what you're going to be when you're here with the Washington football team. You're going to the playoffs. Get used to it. And that's what he has instilled.
The Legacy is brought to you by Janet King. Let Janet King get your business back to business. Visit to schedule a disinfecting service today.
Don't let the comfort fool you. Don't let the attention to detail lead you to believe that a Honda is a delicate machine. You'd be wrong. Underneath every surface that carries a Honda badge, there has always been the capacity to amaze. From the core of everything we have ever built, all the way to the top of where you want to go. Rise to the challenge with the rugged performance of the Honda Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline.
Free healthcare, hundreds to more than $1,000 per month in disability compensation, and tens of thousands for college tuition. These are just some of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs benefits that may be available to veterans. VA is focused on customer service like never before. Choose VA and see why veterans' trust in VA reached an all-time high. Claim the benefits you've earned at choose.va.gov.
I'm stoked! Let's do this! Whoa! This is amazing! I know, right? Yeah! These new extreme scratch-offs! They're insane! Wait, what? Dude, $100 million in instant cash! Tons of $100,000 top prizes! Awesome! Let me see those! Oh, man! Hold on, I'll go get them!
Take it to the extreme. Play new Extreme Scratch-Offs from the Maryland Lottery and play safely and responsibly. DC has a home for the greatest hits of all time.
That would be Michael Jackson for me.
DC's greatest hits.
Madonna.
Billy Idol.
Live here.
Cyndi Lauper.
Bon Jovi.
94.7.
Blondie.
The Eagles.
The Drive.
Thinking about this, and your ending, of course, was triumphant. Being a world champion, doing all the things that you did, but how it all started. And as I found out later on, as you shared with me, the Wyoming Black 14 Project. Man, when you shared that with me and told me that, hey, I didn't know about it, I was stunned. All I could think of was how much pressure were you under as a young man in Wyoming. Can you share with us what that was like? And thank goodness it's being resurfaced. And we're going through a very difficult time of social injustice, all the stuff that's going on right now. Can you just take us back to that, and how rough was that, and how gratified are you now to be able to have told your story?
To tell you that whole story, Doc, it happened back in 1969 at the University of Wyoming, October 17th. And what it was, we were going to play Brigham Young the next day. I was a junior on a team that we were 4-0, and the Sugar Bowl had said, win 2 more games and you're in for the year. I was a guy on a team that we hadn't lost a game. We were a domineering team, but we also were getting ready to play a team that you had been noted, that the vets would tell you, whenever you played this team, you will be called out of your name. You will be hit from the back of in the back of your knees. You'll be put up and you'll be just talked about very badly. And at the same time, no one will listen to you. So in that game, I remember a guy ran into the back of my legs, as you know, that's clipping. I went to the official and said, look, this guy's clipped. He told me to shut up and play ball. Now, this was happening to all the African-American players. They would also tell us we couldn't go over to the church the day before, which we weren't going to church anyway at that age. So I might be realistic. But they told you couldn't go. There's certain things that the Mormons did not allow. So what we were really wanting to do is let them know we know what the treatment is, because our coaches, I only had one player ever come to me, another African-American player, and said, look, his name was Larry Nels. He said, we're going to get him. And that's the only time. All the other players act like they did not know. So we wanted them to know. The Black Student Alliance wanted to protest, but we weren't going for their protest the way. So we said, we'll wear these armbands so everybody know we do support this, but it's the treatment we're getting. Let's go over and show the coach, because we had a coach, Lloyd Eaton, and he was one of those guys that he wanted it his way or no way. And so we went over to let him see these armbands. Now, what we could have done wrong, Doc, was we wore them over there. And all that was like wearing a cape in front of a bull. So as we walk over, he said, I'm going to save you guys a lot of time and effort. As of now, you're no longer a member of the Wyoming football team. He said, I want to talk to you in the stadium. He took us in there. He sit us down. For 2 hours, he rant and raved. He said, Tony McGee, I got you off the street of Battle Creek picking up a cigarette butt. Half of you don't even know who your parents is. Half of you come from broken homes. Go back to the Gramners and the Morgan States of the world. And every time we tried to say something, he told us to shut up. He took our scholarships from us, put us out. And the bad thing about it, the Black Student Alliance, who was supposed to help us, they did nothing. So we were all blacks, ostracized from the NFL, not the NFL, from the college football league. Now, one thing that happened at that time, Doc, I had to make a big decision. We had played 4 games at that time.
Did you have double-digit sacks?
I had 11 sacks in 4 games.
In 4 games?
Wait, I had 7 against the Air Force alone. So I was rolling, man, but at the same time, this was a little bit more important than that. It wasn't about me. So, I did get an opportunity. A guy named Jerome Berry, one of our guys, he went to Bishop College in Dallas, Texas. He told the coach, Dwight Fisher, about me. So over the phone, Dwight Fisher interviewed me and brought me down and gave me a full ride and told me to just play ball. So I went there and played 9 games, and I had 109 tackles in those games. I made Black All-American, all that. But let me tell you what really just kind of got me. I made the Chicago Tribune team that was supposed to be the best 48 players in the country. While I'm there practicing, and I'm practicing with guys like Jack Youngblood, all these guys are my teammates, and the guy come up to me and said, look, I'm a scout for the Chicago Bears. We drafted you on the 3rd round. He said, we were lucky to get you. He said, you know why we got you? He said, we called out that the Los Angeles Rams had called out to the Rams to draft you number 1. And they called Wyoming. They said you was a troublemaker. So that's why you failed. He said, just play ball. Doctor followed me throughout my career. I ended up with 106 sacks, but a lot of people still talk about Wyoming. So, you know, I didn't feel good about it, but let me tell you, all of the anger and the animosity, whatever I had left this year, the Latter-day Saints gave the Black 14 9 trucks, 53 feet long, with $50,000 worth of non-perishable food in each and every one of them to take to our neighborhood during this pandemic. And I tell you what, to me missing a little bit of season, but still getting the opportunity to play in the NFL, all that is forgotten, because they did something for people that are right now at this moment is people eating that food. So, you know, everything I felt about them, and the thing about it is these are some people right now that had nothing to do with that. So I'm very happy with that. And you can go to our internet, black14.net, and what we're doing is we're doing t-shirts, we're selling t-shirts, and each t-shirt we tell them, buy a t-shirt and feed a person. So with that, we are also raising money from that. My hometown of Battle Creek, Michigan, just out of nowhere, they gave me $20,000 to put in the community to help feed people and help them with their needs, like computers and different things. We got this all over the country, and we're gonna make it grow, because now it's not feel sorry for the Black 14. I look at it now as the Black 14, we're being served and we've served.
The Legacy is presented by your local Nissan dealers.
It's 2020. Let's make a splash. Play the DC Lottery's Roaring Cash.
Broken windshield, take 1.
Hey guys, my windshield just got broken. I feel like I need to blow off some steam. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Blanks, there's no need to be stressed. Geico makes it easy to file a claim online, on the app, or over the phone.
Yeah, but what if I never hear back? That's gonna make me want to go, jab.
Nope, your Geico claims team is always there for you.
That makes me want to celebrate with some fireworks. 5, 6, 7, go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah!
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
DC has a home for the greatest hits of all time.
That would be Michael Jackson for me.
DC's greatest hits.
Madonna.
Billy Idol. Live here.
Cyndi Lauper.
Bon Jovi.
94.7.
Blondie. The Eagles.
The Drive.
I love you. I appreciate all that you give, all that you're doing. You ain't done. You continue to go, but we couldn't do a legacy show and not have you a part of it.
I
appreciate you doing this, man.
I don't know how many lives you to save because they call you the doctor, but I know you are MD of information.
Well, I'll tell you this, that is Stevie and Kyle. They are the real superstar, and you know better than all of us. If you're not good behind the scenes, you're not going to be good on camera.
No question.
I'm blessed. All right, Mac, thank you so much. That's going to do it for this week's edition of The Legacy. You folks have a blessed week. Mask up, and we'll see you next time.